I'm gonna start off with refuting their nonsense arguments. Alright, so they said, let me just start off with everything they said. Let me see what that is. Alright, so parodies of the league. Now let me start off with the luxury tax. They said luxury tax isn't tax enough. Luxury tax 44% on the Yankees. Alright, they said that teams are going to continue to buy the big free agents. We've been keeping up. The Marlins already, just yesterday, they signed Jose Reyes. They have the second lowest payroll. They signed the two highest ranked free agents, and they're going for all the good. So, I don't know what they're saying. Also, they said, they started talking about concessions and diversity in games. All right, that's irrelevant. That's irrelevant. That has nothing to do with the salary cap. And so let me start off with what I'm going to say. So I'm going to talk about how our current system, the revenue sharing and luxury tax, which is what we currently have, is more beneficial than the salary cap. A, my supporting claim is going to be how it slows down high payroll teams. B, how revenue sharing has helped create competitiveness. And how, as my partner previously stated, it creates competition. I mean, he went on and on telling you how it creates competition. I'm not going to reiterate every little fact that he said. But basically, then the Major League Baseball has been more competitive than the NFL and the NBA for the last 10 years. And in the last 10 years, that's when the luxury tax was incorporated. So, as I see it, it's pretty effective. Oh, on top of that, 8 of the last 10 teams have been different teams. And the Yankees, since you keep mentioning the Yankees, audience is probably tired of the Yankees. They've only won the salary cap once. I mean, they've only won the World Series once. So, yeah, they keep spending all this money, but they've only won it once. So, excuse me, let me go on my claims. First of all, let me tell you how the luxury tax works. A team that goes over the luxury tax cap for the first time pays 22, second time pays 30, third time pays 44. That's where the Yankees are at. Now, it's easy to see how a 40% tax would be a drag on spending. Coughing up $20 million for years for a superstar player is one thing, but adding another $8 million is another. Imagine how you would react if you had to pay 40% subcharge, which our proponent says is not much. They say they need to raise it. How would you feel if you had to pay 40% subcharge for every gallon of gas you bought over the first 10? Not cool. This tax is beneficial. This tax has advantage because this tax that the Yankees pay the league goes to IGF, the industry growth fund. And with the salary cap, we would be completely diminishing this. Now, let me tell you what the IGF does. Over the last 11 years, IGF has received $125 million from all the teams in Major League Baseball. Now, there are 3 goals to the IGF. I said the industry growth fund. It's to enhance fan interest in the game, increase baseball's popularity, and ensure the industry growth to the 21st century. Those are the 3 goals. Now, in an ESPN SportsCenter documentary, they reported that in the last 5 years, in over 12 countries in the Caribbean and South America and one Hong Kong, IGF donated over $86 million in equipment in building baseball diamonds and promoting the game of baseball. It would be completely diminished if we included the salary cap because then there would be no luxury tax. Now, another advantage of the luxury tax is it helps promote diversity and how they're talking about diversity and how something about concessions, but more relevant diversity in baseball, how there's opportunities given to different minorities. For instance, currently 60% of all baseball players are of European descent. So, in a sense, Caucasian. The remaining 40% are composed of minorities that cover 19 different countries around the world. So, baseball, in a sense, is pretty diverse, and IGF has helped create that diversity off what I told you. It helps create baseball diamonds, etc., in different countries. Now, as I said, IGF would be non-existent with a salary cap. The luxury tax allows for development and interest in the game of baseball. Now, let me go back to revenue sharing and how that helps create competition in the game. Now, in the current revenue sharing system, all 30 teams have to pay 34% of their local revenues into a common pool. Now, That's a lot of money. For instance, the Yankees committed in 2011 $160 million to the sharing pool, while the Pirates committed $45 million, according to Forbes.com. The Pirates gained $60 million, while the Yankees lost $60 million. Now, the epitome of this example is the Kansas City Royals. They brought them up too. Now, the Kansas City Royals, they spend the least amount of money on players, and that affects because at the end of the year you have to pay, like I said, 34% to the end of the pool, and if you don't spend that much, then you can be obviously paying less at the end of the year. So, like I said, the Kansas City Royals are epitome of this problem because since 2000, the Royals' ticket sales have declined 18%, and they view it as a negative because they say the team is obviously going to be devalued because fans go less and less. But ironically, the team's value has increased because teams like the Yankees that contribute $60 million to these teams yearly or around so the Kansas City Royals team's value has increased from $96 million to $282 million. That's a big increase. Now, what else do I have to say? Oh, okay. So the salary caps, let me just mention very briefly. The salary cap is never going to work because the players continually reject it. The players really has rejected a salary cap for more than 20 years. And the reason is because they have many disadvantages more than advantages. Over the last 20 years, the players have rejected it. And there's a reason why. The players make 52% of all the revenue baseball makes. In comparison to the NFL, they make 55. NBA, they make 57. Incorporating a tax would decrease salaries because a salary cap basically tells you you can only make X amount of money. And no one would feel good telling you you can only make X amount of money. And also, a point I'm going to expand upon later, so I'm going to write that, is trades and cutting players. Players are more exposed to trades and cutting players because in Major League Baseball, you get this salary, you must get the entire salary. While in salary cap, you get the salary, let's say you do good for 2 years, in the third year you're not doing so good, they could just cut that salary. Okay? So, that's why players are continually going to reject that. Alright, cool.